Welcome to 2022 at Untitled Kitchen. Yes, this is my home and you are welcome in here to learn more about your Thermomix and how you can get a little bit extra out of this little helper in the kitchen. So welcome back. I hope you had a fantastic time with your loved ones, and we're kick-starting this week. Just for those of you that don't know, I am B from Thermitucker, that is my business name, and I usually last year was available Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. and I've done a bit of a switch up now. I will be available on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that will be either in the afternoon or the morning depending on what is happening with my schedule. So I won't have a set time like I did last year, but please feel free to always catch me on replay and hashtag me on replay. Let me know that you've had a look at the recipe that I've tried for the day. I will be changing it up a little bit because I would love to show you, yes, Cookidoo recipes are absolutely I suppose the starting point when you are learning more about your Thermomix. So please don't feel afraid about trying those out, but I would love to branch out and show you a little bit extra about how I usually will feed my family, as well as some hints and tips about how to try perhaps some meat-free versions. I am a vegan, so there are many things that I don't make on my channel that I would love to actually share with you so that you can see how easy it is to just swap out a couple of ingredients. And I will obviously, for example, today we're doing scrolls. I'll go through some ideas for you, for those of you that are vegan and are my customers and followers, give you some great hints and tips about that, how you can actually use some great ingredients. So let's start off. Now, scrolls are an absolute must in my family. I usually make a double batch. I've realized that I actually ran out of my 10 kg bag that I usually have. So what I did was I pulled in half of my bread flour that I usually use and some other flour that I had. So if you don't have the strong flour, it's okay. The recipe I used today to make the dough for these scrolls was actually the pizza dough recipe on Cookidoo. And I thought it would be valuable to show you a couple of hints and tips around what I usually do. So I'd made the dough about an hour ago, a little bit over, and then covered that with a tea towel. And at the base of it, I put in my thermo server, was probably about that much worth of hot water, and left it to rise. And you can see it's pretty puffy. What I will do is just set this aside now. I'm not going to need this. So let me just move this out of the way. And then what we will do, I'll show you how to fill your scrolls. This is just one little example. So Vegemite fans or my mate or our mate fans, this is one that you would ordinarily find at Coles or Woolworths, and you can get those scrolls. They're about $2 each. So definitely be saving money by doing this at home, and you can freeze them. Please, I would love to encourage you to do that. And also, the fillings that you can have are so numerous. I'm going to run through a couple of them. I'll also go through what I have done with my pizza dough mixture. I follow the recipe, but I usually always add a teaspoon or two of dried herbs. So it gives it a lovely, different smell. Which is really good. Hey Nicole, yes, we're making scrolls because these are fantastic to put inside the freezer. Obviously with school starting up soon, but hey, for those of us that don't have children that attend school, this is a great recipe to make in advance and put inside your freezer for those days when you're not interested in doing any cooking. So good to see you guys. I'm going to just show you then what I'm going to do. For my filling today, I'm using our mate, and then I am going to just have the cheese. All I've done, this is tasty cheese, just cubed it up, and I will grate this now. So all I'm going to do is pop that into my machine. A little tip for you is to actually make sure that you use the little dial on the side for your guide for how big your cheese is. And I see Nicole said, yes, cinnamon scrolls. That was the other one I did. That was it. I was going to save that for last because those are a favorite in our house, and I was going to share that as well. Yes, in this instance, I have used dried herbs, but ordinarily you don't put the dried herbs in, and you can put whatever filling you want. So I'm just going to grate this. This will be most probably about 6 to 10 seconds, and it will be on speed number 6. Alright, I didn't actually add a time on there because you can actually hear when it's done. And it starts to change, I suppose, the way that the cheese touches the sides of the bowls. So I don't want a very, very fine chop. So I'm just going to pull that out. That was 6 seconds on speed number 10. And it does vary according to what cheese you want to use. So please feel free. You can put feta cheese, Parmesan cheese, a combination of different types of cheese that you would like. So just put that aside, and then what I will do is just show you, you actually want to make sure that you're going to make a rectangle. So just use the mat to make like a sausage, and then you can pull it out a little bit more and then obviously extend it. So I'm just going to show you what I mean by that. It is quite elastic. It's been about an hour and a half that I've been letting it rest. So a very good tip for you when you are making scrolls is there's one really good secret. Always allow your doughs to prove twice. So I've done it once now, and I've obviously pulled it out, and you saw me take that apart. But once you've shaped your scrolls, please make sure that you make it look all pretty on your tray. You can put the cheese on top if you're making the version like I am today. But honestly, if you let that sit for another 45 minutes to an hour, your scrolls will be lovely and full and soft. If you run out of time and you don't have that time to wait, it's then obviously something you're going to eat straight away. It doesn't matter. You can just do maybe 15 minutes to half an hour. Alright, so the reason you need that little second prove is so that it will definitely be helpful with the gluten, especially if you're using, they call it strong flour or your bread flour. So that's the best tip that I can give you guys if you're looking for a really soft scroll. So what I'm going to do is just use, I've literally just, it's probably about that thin. That's how thin my dough is. I'm going to put, I've got our mate. I know you guys might say, what on earth? You bringing some British influence into this? But yes, my children do enjoy a little bit of this. I don't give too much because it does have a lot of salt. So I'm just going to put that on and just use the back. What you can do also, I'm actually going to get that from the fridge, is use some butter. Sometimes if you want to, I know when we used to do this on a very large scale in the tuck shop, we'd make about maybe 4 or 5 batches and do them this way. You can actually mix up your margarine or your butter with the Vegemite so that it will spread a lot easier. Obviously if you've got just the Vegemite, it might be pretty intense, which I have made a couple like that, and my children don't mind it. But you know that debate that we usually have where, well, in our family we do, that either you love the Vegemite or the my mate, our mate, and you love to have a very thick portion onto your toast or onto whatever you're serving with. But some of our family members like to be a little bit stingy with it, which is great. Yeah, it depends on your personal taste, but you guys just adjust and do according to what you guys love. Another great tip when it comes to actually filling your scrolls is think outside the box if you possibly can. I'm going to just sprinkle on this cheese now. A really great one for myself, which I love to make, obviously because I'm vegan, is a vegan pesto. It has a base. You can do one with a base with tofu or one without, and then you just sprinkle an abundant amount of nutritional yeast. Then obviously, as Nicole has mentioned, yes, definitely the scrolls with the cinnamon. And same thing, you want to add a little bit of butter or some margarine and be able to actually spread that on over it and be as liberal as you like. So I'm just going to show you then what I usually do is start off with that roll. You can fill it out as much as you want. I know pasta or the tomato base, as well as ham cheese is another favorite in our house. So play around with that, see what your children love and what the family members enjoy, and give it a go. Give it a try. These freeze beautifully, not a problem at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to scroll that up. I want to make sure that I am making them pretty tight, and then I'll show you how easy it is to actually cut them using dental floss. Now I know you might think, what on earth are you talking about, Belinda? How can you use dental floss to actually cut your scrolls? So I have seen other consultants use their spatula, so their silicone spatula, to cut them. What happens is if you use a knife or a spatula, you will end up getting a flat base, so it won't be round. In other words, the shape of your scroll will definitely land up being squeezed. So I'll show you what I do. I just get a little bit of the good old dental floss. This is mint, it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect the taste at all. And then what I usually do is I'll put it underneath the scroll portion, and then I'll guess roughly how fat or thick or high I want to have my scroll. So I'm going to say about maybe 3 centimeters. So what I'll do, I just wanted to do the end part so I could show you. Alright, so underneath your scroll mixture or your scroll shape, then you find that portion that you want to cut it to, and then turn your floss over and then pull like that. And what it will do is give you a lovely neat finish for the scroll, and it doesn't change the shape of the scroll at all. So obviously I will do a couple of these and then lay them onto my tray, and then, as I say, I use the mat to cover that for an hour usually. Then I will bring my oven up to about 180-200 degrees Celsius and let that bake for 25 to 30 minutes. I love to also sprinkle a bit of cheese on after they've risen so that it will have an even spread. And if you want, you can place them close together so that you can pull them apart and have that softness in between. Otherwise, if they are separated, the scrolls will actually be harder and they'll get a bit crusty as well. So be as liberal as you want to. I will also show you guys what it looks like at the end result, and see for yourself what these Vegemite and cheese scrolls look like. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little video today. I will be back again with another PBJ balls recipe on Thursday. This is a vegan recipe, so I'm sure those of you that are my vegan followers would love to see what it's all about, and all made from scratch. It's not a Cookidoo recipe, so follow along for those ingredients and learn another new recipe. So I will see you again, and I do hope that you guys are keeping well. Send me a little like, a little message to let me know how you're all doing, and hope you had a good, great festive season with your family. Take care.